A person downs 4 cans. 640 milligrams of caffeine plus CO2 gas bubbles enter the stomach. This cocktail is engineered for speed, not safety. Carbonation bubbles irritate the stomach lining, forcing the pyloric valve open violently. The toxic fluid bypasses digestion, hitting the intestine. 200 grams of sugar triggers a massive insulin spike. Insulin unlocks cells to store sugar, but violently drags potassium ions from the blood along with it. This causes hypokalemia. Potassium is vital for resetting the heartbeat. Without it, the heart muscle cannot relax. The system is primed for seizure. The label says 160 milligrams caffeine, but guarana extract hides a secondary reserve. It releases slower, hitting the blood just as the first wave peaks. A distinct reaction occurs in the plasma. Platelets become hyperactive and sticky. They clump together, turning fluid blood into a viscous sludge. Caffeine is fat-soluble. It breaches the blood-brain barrier effortlessly, flooding neural tissue while the blood below turns into sticky glue. Deep in the brain, caffeine mimics adenosine molecules. It jams the receptor slots like a broken key, physically blocking the brain's sleep signal. Blind to fatigue, the pituitary gland assumes a survival crisis. It triggers the fight or flight alarm, dumping adrenaline into the sludge. Adrenaline acts as a vasoconstrictor. It squeezes the artery walls. The pipes narrow just as the fluid inside becomes thick. Pressure skyrockets. Inside cells, caffeine paralyzes the enzyme phosphodiesterase. It can't clean up CAMP energy signals. The metabolic furnace burns out of control. Kidneys panic under high pressure and dump water to compensate. This is chemical dehydration. The blood sludge loses solvent and thickens further. The heart is now pumping glue through a straw. The mechanical load triples. It demands oxygen that the thickened blood can barely deliver in time. Adrenaline whips the sinoatrial node. The pacemaker fires rapidly. Heart rate climbs past 160 beats per minute, but the chambers don't have time to refill. The killer is the ion channel. Caffeine jams ryanodine receptors open, flooding heart muscle cells with calcium. This triggers violent contraction. A fatal conflict begins. Calcium commands contract, but the lack of potassium from the sugar crash prevents the command relax. It creates a spasm. Muscle fibers lock up. This is tetanic contraction. The heart isn't beating, it's cramping hard, like a fist clenching and refusing to let go. Rogue electrical sparks fly across the surface. These are delayed after depolarizations. The synchronized rhythm dissolves into electrical noise. Subject feels fluttering. These are premature ventricular contractions. The bottom chambers fire early, fighting the top chambers. Chaos reigns. The electrical system snaps. Ventricular fibrillation begins. The heart muscle quivers like a bag of worms, consuming energy but moving zero blood. Systemic circulation halts instantly. Blood pressure drops to zero. The brain is cut off from fuel. The sticky blood begins to clot in the veins. The brain has a 6-second oxygen reserve. As it depletes, vision tunnels. The conscious mind is violently extinguished. The subject hits the floor. Even as the body falls, caffeine molecules remain bound to receptors. They actively prevent the heart's electrical system from resetting itself. The vibrating heart burns through its last ATP energy units. Without energy to pump calcium out, the fibers stiffen into a stone-like rigor state. Kidneys fail, clogged by the thick blood and muscle proteins released from the spasms. They shut down, trapping acidic toxins inside the corpse. At minute 4, neuronal necrosis begins. Brain cells, lacking glucose and oxygen, start to liquefy and die. The damage is now irreversible. Defibrillation often fails here. The chemical toxicity keeps ion channels open. You can shock the heart, but the chemistry refuses to hold a rhythm. This isn't a heart attack from a clot. It is a metabolic storm. Carbonation, sugar, guarana, and caffeine conspired to break the machine totally. This is chemical cardiac arrest, a complete electrical and mechanical disintegration driven by voluntary poisoning of the body's control systems. 4 cans of engineered chemistry have rewritten the laws of your biology. The price of artificial energy was total system failure. Subscribe now.